All right, hey guys, welcome to another video. We're gonna drive the GTI on honestly one of my favorite roads. This is the Kank Highway, but it's a relatively busy day, so we're gonna hopefully find a really nice window. I've had a couple windows, but I really wanted to do a proper intro. So yeah, so anyway, it's a beautiful day today. Yeah, this is such a fun road. It's very straight line heavy, so it's not necessarily a super GTI calling, but it does have its super sharp turns, and it kind of does, you know, it banks a little bit, has some sweeping turns as well. So I mean, it's really accommodating for any car, and this car is actually plenty of fun being stage 2. So hopefully we have a nice window. Hopefully people are going kind of quick, so we have a nice gap. But yeah, so we're gonna currently head up, and I'll pretty much just do a nice video of just kind of a shoot up the hill, and when I get to the top, that's where I'll kind of conclude. But anyway, hopefully you guys are doing well. Hopefully you enjoy this awesome drive. We're gonna start in, we'll do it individual mode because not everyone likes pop, so we'll start in individual, and we'll progress to sport mode. little intermission. We gotta wait for the cars in front. They don't want to ride their butts the whole time, so there should be a big enough gap. Found somebody else. Oh man, I apologize guys, this was not expected, but I gotta make do because this is one of the biggest gaps. This is actually my second take, but anyway, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the car too. Performance wise, this thing is awesome. It is insanely good around corners. I've talked about the the straight line speed a ton of times. It's really good. I don't really need to go into too much detail. But as you guys would expect, a Stage 2 GTI, Mk7 GTI, is really good at straight line performance. It's just the power, the torque, I mean, it has it all. So it's honestly, it's a really good setup, and I don't have anything really that would improve my cornering ability. So basically everything I'm talking about is what you would get from a standard GTI. Now I do have some minor weight reduction just from all the mods that I've done. I would say from the exhaust, maybe the intake being like 5 pounds at most. I've probably shaved, I would say 50 pounds total from all the modifications that I've done. The wheels didn't add any weight. They were the same exact weight as the Austins. So, I shaved 50 pounds. The car should be around, well, actually, I don't know. This is obviously a GTI SE with the nice Panamera. I wonder if that's a GTS. I don't know. I think it's the Gran Turismo though, so that's equally as cool. Yeah, so I mean, it's really, I can't really incorporate, we won't consider the weight reduction, but regardless, this thing handles so well. There is a, you will find the limit going around some corners, definitely hairpin corners. You'll find that this thing will tend to understeer a little bit, but if you're cautious on the throttle, and as long as you stay consistent with the throttle, you won't have any lift-off oversteer, and your understeer will be relatively managed. I've done a lot of this road on, or with traction on. It cuts power, and that's not necessarily something that a lot of people enjoy. However, one thing I do notice is I can kind of really be on the power at any point because it'll just cut it for me, and I don't necessarily need to worry about understeer. So there's a love-hate with both being on and off, but I will say, as long as you are a little bit experienced with the GTI, you are completely able to drive this thing with traction off. Now, I will say this thing also has the feature to turn stability off. Given that it's a busy day and there's bicyclists, and I'm not a professional driver by any means, I'm going to leave it on like I always do. However, I do turn off traction just to get the front wheels to spin a little, but as far as body roll and body stability, I leave stability control on typically all the time. Other than that, yeah, this is such a good car. I mean, it really is. You don't have to do much to get much out of it, which is really nice. Obviously the tuning software really helps with that straight line performance, but if you're really looking to do handling, you got to do that, the upgraded sway bars. Ooh, nice Lancer. Wow, sounds good too. But you know, there are definitely ways, and especially lowering that center of gravity will definitely, you'll see improvement from that. I haven't done that, obviously. As you guys know, I'm riding the monster truck way, and you know, to each his own. But personally, I think this car is really well set up, especially if you're not, you know, if you're not going crazy. I mean, this is a really, really good setup for anyone. And if you want to go extra crazy, or if you want to, you know, get something that's already ready for these types of roads out of the box, Volkswagen offers the performance package, which comes with, you know, the slightly bigger brakes, the Golf R brakes, and that LSD, the true power controlling or vectoring LSD. So that's wicked cool. And this car has it, but it's I think an electronic one where it's brake actuated or brake controlled. So it's not really changing the way or which power goes to which wheel. But oh man, it just sounds so good. And funny enough, if you go down here, just because you're kind of on a decline, you can kind of, the RPMs will stay consistent, and we'll open the sunroof all the way. And I'll show you guys exactly what I mean by the peak pop zone. I've already done a video on this, but if you guys haven't seen it, the peak pop zone is 4K, and hopefully these guys give me a little bit of space so I can, yeah. That's so nice. Now, one thing you probably didn't know if you're unfamiliar with the APR Stage 2 tune with pops and bangs is if you go too crazy, the pops and bangs will turn themselves off before your car blows up. Not necessarily, not really, but the pops and bangs do deactivate themselves when they start to notice excessive heat, which is really, really nice. Oh guys, this Camaro, this black Camaro, he's wicked loud. I'll try to get him to do something fun. Yeah, he drove by me earlier. That thing is gnarly. But yeah, so anyway, oh man, I really want a Camaro. I'm not getting one, but I really want a V8. I love V8s.